if you end up getting a lot of streams from a particular city, then it triggers the algorithm and everyone takes notice of your music and it pushes you out to other cities and other countries. And that's not true at all.
All right, so we're gonna have to debunk this one because, oh my God, is this some serious misinformation? And I wasn't even gonna post today because I'm super sick, but I came out of my slumber just for this.
Not sitting around in a boardroom saying, shall we make people in Guatemala be the tastemakers for the world? And if everybody in, I don't know, Melbourne likes a track, we're going to push.
No, you're completely misrepresenting what trigger cities are. It's from a 2019, then 2024 article by Chartmetric that describes how these cities tend to discover and embrace newer artists quicker than the US and other Western cities. Essentially, they're trend setting. The US follows trends, and these cities discover music that then becomes popular later in the United States. Chartmetric discovered this by tracking 50 artists backwards to see which of these cities they blew up in before the US.
There's two places this has come from. One, people who want to sell you fake streams.
Nope, it came from an article by Chartmetric with data backing it up.
Because there are certain cities where they come from, those fake streams, and everyone knows it by now. Usually it's like South America and randomly distributed to all this. Helsinki's a really big one, and lots of cheaper countries.
Most botters actually use VPNs to make sure that their bots look like they're coming out of the United States in order to seem more legitimate. They're definitely not coming from Mexico or Southeast Asia or Brazil or whatever.
Therefore, those cheaper countries to get streams from is going to come up in your about section. And people look at that about section, especially labels and people in the industry who can influence your career. They're going to look at your about section and see which countries you're popping off on. Yeah. And if it's like all just the wrong country for your style, like if you're a country artist popping off in Indonesia, it's not right. There is country music, it's not popping off in Indonesia.
If a label looks at where your listeners are coming from and is scared off because your streams are coming from Indonesia, they're a shit label that doesn't know what they're doing.
The second thing is that it came from Spotify themselves.
Literally just Google it, because there's no Spotify article about this. It is a Chartmetric article from 2024.
Because Spotify put out a report, which all of these companies latched onto, which says about these trigger cities. I'm not sure if they actually called it trigger cities, but they said that like artists get hot in these cities first. In that article, they're describing the past, not the future.
Yeah, because data comes from the past. That's how you read data. I'd like to own this guy's time machine so I could go into the future and look at future data.
I'm not saying that if an artist pops off in these cities, therefore they're definitely going to get pushed out. What it's saying is there is a pattern for an artist that when they're going to get big, you find that it gets quite hot in certain cities first, and then they start to spread.
What they're saying is that they have tracked 50 popular artists to where they were first popular, and it came from these trigger cities. Even if he was right and this came from a Spotify article, he's not debunking it at all. He's just describing what it is. You said it's not true. Show us why it's not true. Show us data that people aren't sharing new music in these trigger cities.